I have never spent this much money at a con. Part 3 Heroes Con Book Haul coming at you next. What's up, my people? Jacob here with Bone Claws Comics, and welcome to Part 3 of my Heroes Con series. This is what I picked up at the con. Now, when I went into the con, I was looking specifically for Punisher War Journal series and a Namor series, and I picked up pretty much all of them. I think I'm missing 2 issues out of the Namor run. That's all I have left to get, and I want to say maybe 6 or 7 issues from the Punisher War Journal run. Every other book I picked up. So we're going to save a lot of time by not going through all those books individually. Let's just say if it's Punisher War Journal, I picked it up. If it's a Namor book, I picked it up. So that's cool. Now, I want to get into the trades first, because there is a booth at this con that sells $5 trades. And most of them are brand new trades. Some of them are used, some of them are more popular. They're a little bit, worn. Like they had Dark Knight Returns trade paperback for $5, but it was a used copy. Not a big deal. I have it already, so I didn't buy it. I'm just giving that as an example. But I did pick up quite a few trades. First, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see this that I posted. It's R.L. Stine's Man Thing. Really fun, really cool little read. I really enjoyed it. I picked this up, $5. I'm not gonna not pick it up. I also picked up Little Monsters, Volume 2. Yes, I did a review on this book. I have the hardcover deluxe edition of this book, which means I picked this up for a reason. Somebody's gonna get it. I already have plans for a giveaway. This is gonna be part of it. So keep your eyes open for that one. Now, there's a YouTuber I like to watch, Ricky from All Sorts of Words. I'll link his channel in the description below. Really awesome guy. The guy's brilliant, and he recently did a video where he showed off some of the Darkness comic book series. Now, I played the game The Darkness when it came out, and I loved the game. I loved the atmosphere. I love everything about the game. I thought it was fantastic. I had no idea that this was a comic book series. I see the Darkness in crossover issues with other characters, but I thought that this was just like a spinoff of the game, like they brought the game into the comic book medium, which they do for a lot of things like movies and TV. When in fact, the game was based off a comic book series, which was news to me. So automatically my interest has peaked. So I'm looking for this stuff now. And they had these trades, $5 a piece. So I picked up this trade. This was Darkness Depths of Hell. Pretty neat. It collects issues 17 through 24. I mean, I like having floppies. I enjoy floppies, but I'm a story guy. So the cheapest way I can get a story, I'm going to get it. I also picked up The Darkness Accursed, Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3. All $5. You really, really can't beat it. Then I also picked up the Darkness Heart of Darkness trade paperback. Now, this did not have a description of what issues come with it, so we're going to find out. I also saw this, Gunslinger Spawn, Volume 1. I've read issue number 1 of Gunslinger Spawn because I really like Spawn. I didn't know what to expect going into it. I thought it was enjoyable. Now I have Volume 1 of the trade, so I can, take in some more of that Spawn Gunslinger goodness. I saw this, and let me preface. I have an issue that if a book looks interesting, I'm going to pick it up, especially if it's a $1 bin book, a $2 bin, $3 bin, or a trade. I have no idea about a lot of the books that I bought. I haven't read them, haven't heard of them, but the covers look cool. Any kind of synopsis sounds cool. I'm going to snag it. And that's what I did with this. This is Impaler. Now, this was by Top Cow Comics, the same publication company that published The Darkness and Witchblade. So, I saw this and I'm going to check it out. It looks cool. It sounds cool. So, it's a horror book. I love a good horror comic. So, yeah, $5. That's coming home with me. This one was really cool find. Dark Knight's Metal. Pretty awesome for $5. So I saw that and had to snag it up. And finally, Justice League Dark Volume 1. I have not read Justice League Dark. I really enjoy, the macabre, the kind of Justice League Dark atmosphere, Constantine, Hellblazer. I really enjoy those stories, so I wanted to read this, so I picked it up. $5, can't go wrong. That's what I got as far as trades. Now, I also picked up some hardcovers from the same vendor who sells hardcovers for a really steep discount. I picked up this, Dracula by James Tynion IV. Really awesome cover. I have not read this, but I'm a huge fan of the horror genre, as you well know. I love Dracula, I love vampires. This looks awesome, and it comes with a signature. Really, really neat. For $20, I had to grab it because, awesome deal. Also, I have on the shelf the IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Omnis. So I spotted this, the same booth, Volume 2 for $20. Now that's half of what you're going to find on Amazon, which is the cheapest place you're going to find these. Half the price. I didn't have a choice. I had to pick it up. Likewise with Volume 7, $20. I mean, come on, people. You can't turn this stuff down when it comes up on you. So, yeah, I had to pick these up. All right, so let's get into the floppies that I picked up, and it's a bit. There was 2 issues I was missing from my 1988 Wolverine run, and that was Wolverine Annual 2000. Picked it up for $1. And then Wolverine 187. I know I mentioned this book in a prior Gaston County Comic Con where the guy wanted $5 or $6 for it, and I'm like, nah, I picked this up for $2. Run is complete. Awesome. Mission accomplished. On to my next obsession, which I guess is Punisher, World Journal, and Namor. But this run is done. Awesome, awesome. Years in the making. It just not out of effort, but just happened to be looking at cons. So, on to the other floppies. These range from $1 to $3. I didn't pay more than $3 for a single issue comic book on Friday. This is just my Friday haul. First up, Back Into the Darkness. Darkness number 1. I think I paid $3 for this book. Couldn't pass it up. Love these deals. I also picked up Rise of the Midnight Suns. I have The Spirit of Vengeance, Part 2 of 6, The Morbius, and that's Part 3 of 6, and The Night Stalkers. These are all still in bags. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Part 5 of 6. I ended up buying a couple of these twice. Made the mistake of not checking my basket, but it is what it is. I really enjoy it. I love the video game. So I actually didn't read this series, but I love the video game, so I might find some reader's copies too. I don't want to take these out of the bags because they're sealed up in the bag still. So I might have to double dip again anyway. But $3 a piece, I had to snag those up. Turns out the last 2 remaining issues, or maybe it's 3 remaining issues, are somewhat minor keys, so they're like $10 or more. And I couldn't find them, so it was disappointing. So some $1 books that I thought were a really great deal. Sabretooth number 1. Now this goes into the same vein of if I'm looking through a dollar bin and I find a number 1 issue, I'm going to look for number 2, number 3, number 4. It turns out this vendor had the whole series, 2, 3, and 4. All there, all together. I had to grab them. Being a huge Wolverine fan, Sabretooth, his great nemesis. Yeah, I'm picking up that series. That's a no-brainer. And as you saw in the video, the Iliad series, I got all 8 of them, $1 a piece. Awesome deal. Now I picked up this one too for $1. Batman Superman number 1. I had this book. I have actually 1 through, I want to say 20 something that I had in my pull box back in 2013. And I had this first issue signed by Jay Lee, and I actually gifted it to somebody. So I needed to replace the number 1, which I was able to do this weekend for $1. Now back into the same vein of if a book looks interesting, it sounds interesting, I'm going to pick it up for $1. Bedlam, Image Comics. Never heard of it, never read it. Looks cool, sounds cool. We're going to check it out for $1. Same for this. Pestilence. Now, I actually flipped through this book, and this is a big boy book. This is a grown-up book about the Crusades. Being a history buff, I'm all for it, man. Like, I had to pick this up. Daphne Byron. Now, I see this book all the time at Ollie's. If you don't have an Ollie's, Ollie's is like a discount store where big chain stores send all their overstock to, and they sell at a very steep discount. I think it's like $5 for the hardcover of this series. I never bit the bullet and picked it up, but for $1, I'm going to check out the first issue. If I like it, I'll swing by Ollie's and pick up the hardcover. Pretty nice. Baby Teeth #1. Again, haven't read it, haven't heard of it. #1 for $1. Let's check out the series. If I like it, I'll grab some more. Max, Born #1. I'm getting into the Punisher stuff, man. Now, and this is almost iconic now. Punisher issue for $1. Come on, guys. Come on. Now this kind of got the vendor a little iffy. He's like, man, I didn't realize this book was in the dollar or in that bin, and I picked it up, of course, because it's Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Topps version. I think it was $1. It might have been $2. I think it was $2. But still, $2 for this book. This is like a $10 book all day. So some of the vendors had this book up on their shelves. So yeah, he was a little upset. It's still sealed in the bag too. So he was like, "Oh man, I can't believe that was in the box." I'm like, "Yeah, it was in there. Now it's not." So, The Last God, Book 1, DC Black Label. Again, never heard of this series, but they had 1 through 4. I want to say there's 8 or 12 total. They had 1 through 4 for $1. So yeah, I'm gonna spend $4 and pick up the first 4. Check them out. I mean, if you hate the series, if I absolutely hate the series, I mean, I wasted $4. I'm not gonna, I spend more than that on a cheeseburger. There's 2, and there's 3, and there's 4. Now this next book, I kind of kick myself because I picked this up because it was the #1, and they had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the long box, but I'm like, I don't want to buy all 7. I've never heard of this series. I've never read this series. I might hate it, and I figured I'd read it that night, and when I come back on Sunday, I'll pick up the rest if I enjoyed it. I didn't read it, and I forgot about it, and come Sunday, I didn't pick up the rest of them. We're talking about Lady Pendragon #1. Lost opportunity maybe, but I mean it was $1. I'm not gonna complain about $1. Now this one, Thor Vikings by Max, Marvel Max. Now I gotta find the rest of them because I love Thor. He's my favorite Avenger, and yeah, it's a grown-up series. I'm all for it. I dig it. So yeah, for $1, like I said, you can't beat it. Not head full of baskets, basket full of heads. Yeah, looks interesting, sounds interesting. DC Black Label horror. I'm gonna buy it. This was a really cool pickup. I love Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze is one of my favorite Batman villains. And this, Von Freeze book, Black Label, for $1. This is a thick boy too. This is a nice book for $1. Come on, guys, come on. Now we're back to books I have no idea what they're about, but history buff. I love King Arthur. This is Prince Valiant from Marvel. Never heard of it. #1 for $1. I'll take it. This was really neat. Phantom. Now, if you grew up in the 90s, you know this movie. You saw this movie. It was like one of the OG superhero movies. I saw this book, and it instantly took me back to the 90s. So, yeah, I picked it up for $1. Now, I have The Dragon, Blood and Guts, issues #1 and #2 for $1. You're not going to beat it. The 8th Seal, IDW. I mean, James Tynion, the 4th. Again, great series. Haven't read it, going to read it. If I love it, we're buying some more. For $1, I'm going to make that gamble. There were a couple vendors who were selling comic sets. They put together sets and they would sell it together as a set for a discounted price. This was the first one that I saw and had to pick up. Helheim, issues 1 through 6 for $5. Never read this series. Don't know what it's about. I imagine it has something to do with Vikings or Viking lore. Pretty cool. $5, it's less than $1 a book. I'm going to check it out. They also had Brides of Helheim, issues 1 through 5, or 1 through 6. Again, go along with the first series for $5, less than $1 a piece. I'm going to bite. I also saw this one, and this one I'm surprised at. Mary Shelley's Sabretooth series, issues 1 through 4, for $2. 50 cents a book? I would have paid $1, maybe $2 a piece for this series. Awesome. I mean, you have Mary Shelley, classic, and Wolverine Sabretooth. I mean, get out of here, man. You're not going to beat these deals. You're not going to beat these deals. That is my Friday pickup. Not counting the Punisher and Namor books. I bought like 80 of those, so I didn't bring any of those out. But yeah, my Friday pickup, there it goes. Let's check out Sunday's haul. Sunday's the last day of the con. A lot of these vendors are giving out killer deals. You know, $1 bins are now 50-cent bins. In one particular instance, it's a 25-cent bin, and I got a bunch of books from there. But some of these books I picked up with the intention of reselling. For example, this book, 50 cents. I have several copies of this book. I have sold several copies of this book for $2 plus shipping on eBay. I mean, yeah, I'll add that to the list of books I'm going to sell. 25 cents. Turok number 1. Turok number 1. I picked up 3 copies of it. I mean, I haven't decided if I'm going to sell all these. I may give 1 or 2 away and keep 1, but yeah, 25 cents, man. Come on. I got this one, $1 bin. A Wolverine number 1 for $1. I'm going to pick it up. That's just, I mean, call it a curse, call it what you want, but Wolverine number 1 for $1, that's got my name written all over it. I picked up another issue of Basket Full of Heads because I'm stupid and don't realize I already bought it, but hey, somebody might be getting this one. Now this was neat because these books are particularly hot right now, and that is the 1991 X-Men number 1. This is the wraparound cover. I got these for $1. I got 2 copies for $1 a piece. I mean, I have a set I'm already selling right now. I might add these to the list of books to sell because I can probably get $2 out of these easy. So buy it for $1, sell it for $2. I'll take that. I picked up these Modern Marvels prints. Really neat. It was $1. I'm not going to complain about it. Pretty neat stuff to have. I might hang it up. I haven't decided yet. Now this almost took my breath away. Real quick. Almost took my breath away. I was like, there's no way I just found this book in a $1 bin on Sunday. There's no way. Unless I'm just the luckiest man alive. The luckiest man alive. Even still, being what it is, it's still a good find for $1, really. First appearance of Vision. Okay, so it's not really. This is the Marvel Super Action Avengers 18. Not the big one we're all thinking of. But still, this book goes for like $8 to $10, and I got it for $1. I mean, really cool to have, just for the historical purpose of it. Even though it's like a facsimile, it's a really cool book to have for $1. Oh yes, Morbius the Living Vampire, number 1, variant cover. Very cool to pick up for $1. I also picked up this version, Morbius number 1, for $1. Awesome stuff. This was interesting. Night of the Living Dead. I have been able to find out nothing about this book. Nothing. I mean, he had $10 on it. I got it for $1. It's really neat. I mean, I love horror, I love zombies, as you all know, but cool. I'm a huge Kevin Smith fan. If you can't tell, Kevin Smith popped there in the back. Clerks is a favorite movie of mine. I had no idea that there were comics for Clerks. It makes sense because Kevin Smith is a huge comics guy. But yeah, Clerks. I got 2 issues of Clerks for $1. Nice. All right, this is going to be a whole rant one day. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, issue number 1. Very cool. I picked up issue number 2. I picked up a trade, all for $1. These were all $1. Actually, these were 50 cents. This was Sunday pickups. These were 50 cents. And then I picked up season 8, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. And we're just going to skip ahead and say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 11. We picked them all up for 50 cents a piece, okay? 1 through 11, plus a couple extra number 1s. Come on, Sunday deals, you can't beat them. X Deaths of Wolverine variant cover. Awesome cover. I love this cover. I've never seen this cover before. For $1. Yeah, man. Yeah. The Legion of the Night. Issues number 1 and number 2 for $1 a piece. Come on, guys. Awesome pickups. Now we're getting into the 25-cent finds. Okay. The same vendor that I bought all those Punisher and Namor books for $1. I got 80 something books for like $60. They cut me a deal. And I went back on Sunday and I found these books right here for $0.25 a piece. Now, I didn't know this was a thing. Apparently it was. But this is the Kents. Yes, as in Clark Kent. The Kents. This is the Kents' family history. It's kind of like a Western, how they moved to Smallville. It's a series of 12. And yes, they had all 12. Very cool. Very neat. 25 cents a piece. You can't beat it. I'll check it out. Superman's not really up my alley of what I like, but I mean, it's neat. I like Westerns, but I got 1 through 12. But the really big pickup for 25 cents that really shocked me, and I'm all for it. Star Trek number 1 for 25 cents. Man, how did people miss this book? How did people miss this book? 25 cents, Star Trek number 1. Not only number 2, number 3. Don't have 4, but I got 5. And I got 6. And I got 10. Guys, those 25-cent bins, I could have spent all day there. But like I said, I had my family with me on Sunday. And, you know, I didn't want to spend all day looking. Now, I did look through all those bins, but I wasn't as detailed and wormy as I usually am. I kind of dirty flipped a little bit. But all these books, 25 cents, 50 cents, $1. Man, this con was the best, man. And I haven't even got to the piece de resistance, the magnum opus, the deal of deals, my new crown jewel of my collection. As you know, I'm a huge Wolverine fan. That's my guy. That's my jam. And now I'm going to fight somebody. Because I picked up the first appearance of Wolverine. 180 in a 6.5. Fight me. This is the first appearance of Wolverine. Not 181. He is in this book in his entire glory. A whole panel dedicated to Wolverine. Even has his name there. There's no shadows. There's no pop in, pop out. He's there. All of him. You can see it. That's an appearance. Before this book came out, he didn't exist. When this book came out, he existed. That's the first appearance. And I have it. Oh my God, I have it. Now, this book on eBay is going for $700, $750, some stuff like that. I mean, it's up there. The guy cut me a deal on Sunday, and I bought this book, and then we left. Like, I didn't carry this book around the show. I bought it, and we booked it. And that night I was out of money. But he cut me a deal for $600 for this book. $600. I almost bought this book 2 weeks ago on eBay in a 6.0 for $650. $600 for a 6.5. I mean, what a deal. What a day. What a pickup. I couldn't be happier. I mean, the whole car ride home, I was kind of like, oh, did that really just happen? Did I really just get this book? It was just a state of shock I was in. Awesome. The funny thing is, I was looking for this book all weekend raw. I didn't really want a graded copy. I wanted a raw copy because I want to be able to flip and look at the iconic page. In my opinion, if every single copy of this book is graded and encapsulated, it becomes worthless because the whole value of this book is on the inside. So I wanted it raw. I wanted to see the picture itself, which leads me to my internal debate, right? The issue with buying raw copies of books like this is I'm not an expert on restoration. I'm not an expert on fixing things, adding staples, whatnot. I would not be able to tell if it was altered or if it was restored. I can't tell. So the insurance of buying a graded copy is there, but you're going to pay more for a graded copy. Not in my case, because the raw copies that I saw at the show they're asking more than $600 for a copy that is in not great shape as this. Now this is in really good shape, I think, for a 6.5. I mean, it's a little dirty. It could probably use a cleaning, but I mean, it's in really good shape. Like a book in this shape, another guy was asking $1,000 for in this kind of condition, and I got it for 600 graded. Now here's my big, woohoo. I've been thinking about cracking this puppy open. Because I do want the raw version. And now that I have a graded version, I know it's complete. I know it's not restored. I know it's what I want it to be. But it's in a freaking case. I have not made up my mind yet. Get in those comments and let me know what you think I should do. Should I keep this thing encased? Should I keep it, like it is? Or should I crack this puppy open and get my raw copy? I haven't made up my mind yet. It's a hard decision to make. But, let me know what you think. Oh, such a great con. Such a great, weekend. I absolutely love it. Heroes Con, I'm coming at you next year. And, I was glad I got to go this year because I was scheduled to work and I actually got the weekend off last minute, so I was able to go. Oh, man, I was so stoked. This weekend's been great. If you've never been to Heroes Con in Charlotte, North Carolina, look up next year. Because it is worth the trip. It is worth the travel. This con is amazing. It is, I can't say enough good things about it. I've been spoiled having this con local to me. I don't have to travel for it, but like 30 minutes, nothing. And just having this pure of a con, getting to meet a fellow YouTuber that, was an inspiration to me. This was just an all-around great weekend. And, next year I hope to do the same. Maybe a couple of you guys can, come down and, we could all go together. It'd be really cool to do, a Heroes Con book hunt with a group of YouTubers or a group of fans. It'd be awesome. So, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Shout out again to Lettuce Comics, Hagen at Lettuce Comics. Check out his channel. The link is in the description below. Ricky, All Sorts of Words. His channel is linked in the description below. Their channel's awesome, guys. Appreciate you sticking around to the end. And I look forward to talking with you next time. See ya.